Why didn't the judge let Darrell Brooks Jr. testify? How's it going, everyone? You're watching Everything Else Channel on YouTube, everythingelsechannel.com. If at any point in time you like this video, smash that like button. Please also subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and leave a comment down below. So, guys, I got to say that that's a mischaracterization, first and foremost. It's not that the judge didn't let Darrell Brooks testify. It's that Darrell Brooks waived his right to testify by his demeanor and how he conducted himself, how he answered questions of the court, how he didn't, follow procedure. And the reality of the matter is that you can't blame Judge Doro or Suop or anyone, prosecution team, the judge, the court, for Darrell Brooks Jr. not having taken the stand. He blew that. He was given so many opportunities. It's not the court's job to teach Darrell Brooks how to be a good lawyer. It's not the prosecution's job to do that either. He made the conscious decision to fire his attorneys. He had good, competent attorneys. And if he had truly wanted to have taken the stand, they would have made that happen. But he wanted to take the stand as his own lawyer in what I believe would amount to even creating more chaos than what he created during the trial. And so as a result of his lack of the, not the ability, but lack of the interest in deciding and answering questions, in keeping to procedure, he is the reason that he didn't get to testify if he was wanting. I don't know if he wanted to testify or not, but a lot of people out there are saying, why wasn't he allowed to testify? And that he made a point about that during the hearing, that the decision was made for him as if he were not have been allowed. That is Darrell Brooks Jr.'s PR game. I mean, I really believe he had an agenda. A lot of what he did was probably staged by him to put out whatever vibe he wanted to put out. And I also believe that, in my opinion, he put that out there so that people would take to social media, maybe that day, the next day, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years down the road, to imply that here he was, accused of this horrible crime, not allowed to defend himself, in a rush to judgment, and on top of that, denied the ability to testify on his own behalf. I mean, from a PR standpoint, that's a smear job. You'd get sued for that, for defamation. If we were talking about, say, I don't know, the judge and a corporation or something, or I don't know, a billionaire or whatever. But who's going to sue Darrell Brooks Jr.? What difference is that going to make? You're not going to see any money. He's in jail for 800 years. You're not going to see any money. You know what I mean? And he's not going to stop. So you don't get your damages. You don't get injunctive relief. You don't get anything. And so he's able to sort of create, by these little things that he says, he's able to give somebody that'll take that little thing that he says and run with it and actually make money off of it and get subscribers off of it and get whatever out of it, even though Darrell doesn't see a cent. You can't stop Darrell. I think that he's a child of social media, just as am I, sort of. I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm not a child of social media, but social media has been around my life for so long now that I know how it works. And I know that somebody that is as polarizing and as easy to hate as Darrell Brooks Jr. was and is, when he says something, people are going to be listening. And some people may be inspired to create videos, or I say inspired very nobly, but maybe they see the writing on the wall and they see dollar signs and they forget about their morals and they run with that. Whatever the case may be. I think Darrell Brooks Jr. made an effort through the things that he said to create this idea that he was denied the ability to testify in his own behalf. And again, no disrespect to the people that leave those types of comments, because I'm not questioning your intelligence at all. I'm just saying it's interesting how it just sort of becomes like this mindset, like this alternate reality. But I think that the people that leave comments like that would fall into the category of people that were listening closely, were paying close attention, heard this statement made by Darrell Brooks Jr., and then deliberated on it a little bit, and maybe were of the opinion that, okay, even if he didn't act according to decorum, and even though he was, just a nightmare to work with. If he wanted to testify, he should have been able to testify. And there may be a disconnect. Because honestly, the judge could still be asking him today, January 25th, do you want to testify? And he could not give a solid answer. So to the folks that think that the judge should have pressed on more, I say no. I say you ask somebody once or twice, 3 times, maybe 4. Mr. Brooks, I'm only going to ask you one more time. And you ask a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th time, and you still can't get an answer. At that point, I think that the person has waived that right. And otherwise, like I said, it's January 25th, 2024. The judge would still be asking him if he wants to testify, and he still wouldn't be giving an answer, or he might be citing subject matter jurisdiction. So the reality of the matter is that, why didn't Darrell Brooks Jr. testify? Because he basically waived his chance to. And I don't know if he wanted to or not. I can only imagine the nightmare that would have been. And I think that it would have been an even bigger circus act than what it was. People are not, binge watching this trial because of the good lawyering of Sue Opper, honestly. Let's be real. She's an amazing lawyer, but that's not why people tune in. They're not tuning in for the spectacular presiding abilities of Judge Doro. Judge Doro didn't say anything particularly funny or have any kind of weird talent or any reason why I would say, hey, I'm going to watch, 120 hours of a judge being a judge. She's a great judge. Fantastic judge. Great rulings. I don't think people would be binge watching that. They're binge watching it because of the circus that Darrell Brooks Jr. created. That's why they're watching it. They hate Darrell Brooks. They hate everything about him. But he gets a reaction out of them. Out of us. All of us. Me making this video, you watching this video, all of us. And that's why. So in my humble opinion, if he had testified, I think the circus would have had an extra 2 or 3 days, and those 2 or 3 days would have been the most controversial 2 or 3 days. I don't think him testifying would have had any bearing on, well, I don't know, maybe we would have gotten him another 3,000 years. I don't know. But it wasn't going to help his case at all. I'm just saying, if he would have testified, it would have been a complete S show. It would have been Darrell Brooks Jr., no holds barred. Just, it would have been like that. So, I don't know. I know what you think. I hope you dig the shirt open like this. I feel it's very 70s like. But hope you leave a comment. Am I onto something? Am I you're way off? I'd love to hear from you.